the conversation starts above what Trevor got. And then the 201 is fascinating. The 201 is interesting to me because I think if you're the Dolphins, you sit there and go, it hasn't gotten done. Why? Why has that deal not gotten done yet? It's one of two things. Either that they believe it's more because of Mike McDaniel than Tua, or two, that only because he's only played one full season. And so is it a lack of performance or belief that the performance is sustainable, or the health? That's the only – because it's unquestionably the best season that they've had at that position in 25 years. Best – not even close. He threw for 4,700 yards. So to not get that deal done yet, you're sitting there going, well, what's the hesitation from the Dolphins side? And if you're Tua and the numbers even remotely close to what Trevor got, why would you not run and take it, considering 18 months ago we saw that season in 22 where multiple times got taken off the field because of head injury.
Yeah, but he learned jiu-jitsu, obviously, and he's all the way back, and he's going to be, they say, more active because he's lost more weight in the pocket, going to go back to extending plays. So I believe everybody around Tua believes that he's going to be the best that he has ever been somehow. And in his mind, if they are near $55 million a year, that's phenomenal. Congrats to all of them. Congrats to all of them for this. And
totally.
It's not an easy job, obviously. You don't just fall into a $55 million a year payday. There's a lot of work that goes into that. But if he does get that, it's like he's got McDaniel drawing up plays for him. Right? Yeah. They have to get a Tyreek Hill deal done, which assumingly they'll be able to do that as well. He's in Miami, which is obviously in the state of Florida, for no state income tax. Miami's like one of the cities where everybody is trying to move to at this exact moment and have been since 2020 for some reason. I don't know if anybody remembers why that was happening or anything like that. So it's like dream situation almost for Tua. If they're trying to pay him, you would assume that he would want that. So maybe there is just a little bit of a hang up on what the price is, what the cost is.
You know what I think of too as well? Chris Greer, who's their general manager, has obviously done last year they just caught the bad break of health. So if you look at these coaches that come from the same world that Mike McDaniel come from, they're brilliant coaches. You're talking Kyle, you're talking Sean McVay, you're talking LaFleur. Those are the main ones right now in my mind. Okay, so Kyle Shanahan in San Francisco, they not only take Trey Lance, but they pay Jimmy Garoppolo a ton of money. Neither of those guys work out. So you're sitting there, if you're the general manager, you're watching San Francisco and a very similar style coach go, well, the two guys that they really were banking on being the guy didn't work out. And then the person that they didn't believe or maybe weren't banking on being the guy, Brock Purdy's become the guy. Okay, well, so is it more the quarterback or the coach? Sean McVay took Jared Goff to a Super Bowl and then all of a sudden got rid of him. So, is it really the quarterback or the coach? Matt LaFleur took Aaron Rodgers to back-to-back MVPs, and all of a sudden Jordan Love steps in, and there's not skipping a beat. So I'm saying all that to say I can see if general managers, when you get coaches that come from this system, believe, hey, unless the guy plays at a level that is so different than everybody else, we're not going to cross a path of or a certain point number-wise.
It's interesting that you say that because obviously Jordan Love's contract is a massive piece of the conversation, and that is seemingly going to get done. And LaFleur is one of those guys that you're talking about, and I think LaFleur is also seeing his offense for the first time with Jordan Love, because the last offense was a combination of the West Coast offense with Aaron Rodgers and also LaFleur. They were kind of coming together. Now he's really seeing his offense come to fruition, but everybody in Green Bay just knows Jordan's the guy. It would be very fascinating if down in Miami they were like, we can get another Tua? Can we get another? Tua?
Yeah,
that'd be very fascinating to do, though. That would be a very interesting move in this particular time, because that is not a conversation that a lot of GMs have been able to get to whenever it comes to the quarterback position. Every other position they've been able to do. Can we find another wide receiver? Moses said, we can do it.
Yeah.
Can we find another running back? Yeah, I think we can. Can we find another pass rusher? I think we can. They've let all those guys go.
Yeah.
Quarterback, though, if there is a sign of promise at 2024, 2023, 2022. It's got to sign him, because we have no idea what door 2 is going to be.
Especially drafted him.
Bingo.
But here's the thing. I think so I don't think there's 5 guys in the league that can play in Mike McDaniel's offense the way that Tua does. But there is evidence that coaches that come from this system,
agreed,
that they have a little bit more of an idea who's behind number 2 and or door number 3, more so than other places. For me, this would be a no-brainer. I would sign Tua. I think Tua's play has warranted that. But that's why my question was why has it not gotten done? It's either they believe that there is another option quarterback-wise, or they're still scared of health stuff.
2 years ago, they almost beat the Bills in Buffalo with Skylar Thompson. Just throwing that out there.
That's right. And if your offense makes people wide open, if you have Tyreek Hill,
yes,
you could see how they maybe hang that over to his head. But Tua just puts that thing
so accurate.
So good.
That's why he was. That's why it was tank for Tua. That was his elite trait, like that intermediate accuracy, quick decisions. Which that's what you see. And Dan said he doesn't think it's 5 guys in the league that can play in that offense. It is obviously a completely different iteration of the offense because all the speed, motions, and shifts and things like that.
There is a lot of chatter, and a lot of it revolves around the quarterback and also the wide receiver, which I think you can kind of touch on if you want in your answer. But the Tua contract, how big of a deal is that? Is that going to get loud? Is that going to get completed? And how do they go about getting this done? And is Trevor Lawrence's deal the big one that he and Jordan Love and everybody's kind of waiting and sitting on here as they try to negotiate the biggest number possible?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, going back about a month ago, the negotiations really hadn't gotten to a point where it felt like it was even close. Tua didn't perceive the options on the table, the contract on the table, to be market value, that of the Jared Goff and Trevor Lawrence deals in the mid-50s annual per year. Now, since then, I've been told that things are amicable, that they have been inching closer. That being said, he's reported. Whether he practices tomorrow will be a pretty big indicator. And I would actually point to that Jordan Love situation. Like, to me, that feels completely amicable. It actually feels like him staying off the field, it means that it's even closer because they see a light at the end of the tunnel. I could really, at this point, see if Tua is on the practice field tomorrow, they can continue to negotiate, but I could see him playing this thing out because where they were before was very clear divide. This was a team that said, we're just not ready to commit that type of money, and a quarterback who very firmly, he said it himself, the market is the market, and he doesn't feel like he should take anything less.
Now, why is that? Is that because McDaniel's offense can create people to be open, Tyreek Hill and Waddle could get open, or why do you think they're viewing him that way versus maybe other places?
I think if you look at this just from a prudent business standpoint, and I understand it's a little bit difficult when it is your franchise quarterback and he's done everything, he's the face of the team, he does it all the right way. But if you look at it, if you sign him now compared to what you would sign him for after this season, even if he goes off, like I've talked to enough GMs around the league who are kind of like, we wouldn't pay him mid-50s. Like, we're not going to go there. So if the demand is such that after this season, he plays really well and everybody looks at it and says, well, yeah, he's got Tyreek, he's got Waddle, nothing against him. He's got Mike McDaniel. He can do those things in this system, and that's the best place for him. I don't think that a team is going to step up after this season and all of a sudden say, yeah, we're going to give him $60 million a year.
Negotiations are always so interesting, and we wish we would have negotiated more time on ESPN every single day. But this linear broadcast will end, and we'll continue on ESPN Plus, YouTube, and TikTok Live. We will see you tomorrow for a wonderful Wednesday with more bullshit in store. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life. We'll see you tomorrow. Nailed it, Darlington. Right on the fucking, it's Shohei Ohtani right there.
Yeah.
Shohei, I don't know. Go ahead.
Are we talking the rap? Did we get out at the right time?
Darlington.
Yeah, the rap. I don't know. Is that what you guys learn in J school?
I don't have an earpiece.
That's what I'm saying. You didn't even need them. You know what I mean? And you didn't even know what was happening right in front of your face, right? You had no idea.
My internal clock. Didn't even know what was happening.
Bingo.